I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Kryptonite Show. I think I skipped studios there, but that's just the way it goes. I hope you guys are having a good time out there. Today we're going to have a look at PulseX, Ink token, of course, Hex on both PulseChain and Ethereum. The charts are pumping to the upside, so we are getting that delayed move, and so very, very cool to see that today. So PulseChain on the move. We're going to obviously look through the charts. We're going to do a bit of TA around those. So we're going to break that all down on all the charts. We're also going to probably pick up PTGC as well. That's been on the move also. Some of the majors are on the move. This is very exciting. And so, yeah, we're going to see how the ones that aren't the leverage plays will perform relative to those. So very exciting there. We're obviously going to cover crypto generally, have a look, see where the market is as well on the overall market. And we're going to check out, obviously, Titan X and Taurus. Taurus doing some pretty cool things right now, but still early days. Yeah, we're going to kick that into gear. We saw some trade brawl is coming out. That's got a giveaway for Taurus. That's from Ali Kane. So big shout out to Ali Kane, and of course out there cryptographics as well, crushing it. And of course I teased last night that Unity is coming to PulseChain. Unity also from cryptographics, basically Taurus on PulseChain. Very, very exciting about that. But something on the roadmap that people may have not have seen is that Unity Farms is also out there as well. So that's coming down the pipeline. Not sure how well developed that is, but Unity will be up next. So some exciting things happening from cryptographics and Ali Kane. So we're going to talk about that later on. So I hope you guys enjoy. But in the meantime, PulseChain is on the move. And how sustained will it be? How sustained? Are the weekends out? We got people that are willing to stay the course for a while. And will we see these charts break through new highs? Those are all the questions we could possibly ask. Richard's on the move already, right? So let's see whether the market, the community, is on the move as well. Here's who is in the chat there. Don't forget to share the show on X. It just takes a moment to hit the repost button. Really, really help. And of course, if you're on YouTube, you can do the same on the share button. So definitely do that. But get out there, folks, and post it out. It really does help a lot there. And you pump your own bags, pump your own bags. We got Matt and Bali in the house there. Howdy, Superman. Good to see you, Matt. Big shout out to you. Hope you're doing well. And hope the weather is good there in Bali. What else? We got Brian in the house there. Good at Brian. Sup, folks? Always a pleasure to see Brian in the house there. One of our awesome moderators. Good to see you, Brian. And Hedgehog is in here as well. Woo! Go. Good to see you. Let's get straight into it, shall we? Without further ado, I don't know if I've got any other social media posts that I haven't wanted to talk about. But I did want to say that if you haven't joined Strategy Club, the link is in the video description. Only $35 a month. Join up today. You get access to a monthly report, which is coming up pretty soon. And, of course, you get daily regular updates. You also get strategy discussions and also access to the top 10 on PulseChain, our top 10 index. So get in there, folks, as well. I will be doing a short video on that as well coming up about the pros and cons, just what the tokens that are on the top 10. It's going to be fun. All right, it's Matt in Perth. Oh, you're in Perth now, Matt. No name calling, please. Matt in Perth. What the fudge? You've moved. That's hilarious, dude. I wondered whether you had moved after I said Matt and Bali because I thought you may have moved. Yeah, I couldn't remember. We got sunny but cold, as cold as New Zealand, but Perth still gets cold in winter. Yeah. Well, it's pretty sunny here today, ironically enough, but the weather, the air is always cool, right? Got the cool air. But I hope you're having a good time there in Perth. Sean as well. Morning all. Good. It's a green day. It certainly is a green day. And hey, look, we lost a few legends, didn't we? Over the last couple of days. Ozzy Osbourne. We lost Ozzy Osbourne. What a character. What a huge contribution to rock music. And of course, also on TV show with the Osbourne family. And boy, have they changed over the years. The old Osbourne kids. So pretty crazy. The son is very very mature. I really enjoy listening to him. And also Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan passed away. What a huge impact he had on WWF and all the wrestling. He was an incredible person. Both of them gave their hearts to the Lord, from what I can tell. So I'm so happy that they will be with God, with Christ in heaven. It's truly wonderful. What a blessing. So from a Christian point of view, yeah, obviously we miss people when they leave, but we have the hope and the salvation expected through the risen Christ, right? Where that Jesus is risen from the dead, and of course that means that we're just passing through from one place to another. Yeah, so it's really wonderful that that they're both Christians here. So I'm absolutely excited about that. So very, very cool. Also, what do we see? We also see the Cosby Show son, I think, also passed. I just forgot his name straight off the top, but he also passed away recently as well. Pretty young too, 52. Yeah, three big stars have passed on. Yeah, some pretty big events happening there. So we just like to remember them. And man, some of those, what a huge contribution they did. I remember watching the Cosby Show when I was a kid, and it was a big part of some of the sitcoms back then. Sitcoms, yeah, I think they would call them, yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. We used to watch that every day. So pretty big deal. All right, so let's get into it. We got other stuff as well. We got a couple people in the chat here. We'll get to that before we get into some of the details on the markets. Not just short visit, says Matt. You're there for a while, I see, in Perth. Let us know how the adventure goes then, Matt. Did you see Liberty Swap Binance announcement? That was the big announcement, was it? No, I have not seen it. So it's good that you're telling me because I've only just logged on, really. Only logged on. So we're going to go Liberty Swap. And, of course, we've got big details coming out there. I'm just looking at it now. 6 hours ago. So we're going to go through. We went to the Liberty Swap yesterday, funnily enough. Isn't that funny? So we'll get into that. And of course, we've got the markets pumping on that. Let's have here. We got the Titanx as well, all built on Titanx coins like DragonX, Volt, Inferno, Hydra, Hyper, Taurus, and of course in the liquidity web with Pulse, PulseX, Inc, Hex, Pulse, PDI, Bear for access to Binance. Wow. That's huge, right? Huge. We're going to talk about that. Yell out the Liberty Swap news, says Matt. Yell out. We got Hex down unders now says happy Sunday, Suitman. Think big things coming to PulseChain with Binance. Pack your bags, sir. Pack your bags. Yell out. Matt, you're repeating. You're on repeat. You're on repeat. Rest in peace. Well, this is the whole point, Sean. We don't say rest in peace as Christians. We're looking forward to seeing them in heaven. That's a beautiful thing. They're not going to be resting anywhere. They're resting anywhere. They're going to be in the presence of the Lord, which is wonderful. Presence of the Lord. All right, so let's get into the show, and we're going to go for gold on that. We've got obviously going to talk about the Liberty Swap. So let's go to the crypto first, I guess. Let's go full screen, shall we? Let's do that. So crypto at the moment is $3.95 trillion. Can you believe it? Down 3.4%. We've got 17,820 coins listed on CoinGecko. It keeps going up, that number, doesn't it? They keep adding new coins. So there we go. We've got Binance at the moment. Sorry, Bitcoin, I should say. I'm talking about Binance is up 0.3% at $117,978. So we'll just say $180,000 is Bitcoin. Ethereum is up 0.6% at $3,744. That's Ethereum, number 2. We got number 3 is up 1%, $3.17. And number 5 there, BNB, is up 1.1%, looking pretty good at $794. We got Solana at number 6, down 0.8% at $185 exactly. Number 8 is Dogecoin, down 0.4% at 23.6 cents. And then number 10 is Tron, up 1% at 32 cents. So those are our top 10, folks. Best performer overnight has been XRP, up 1%. The best performer, of course, over the last week has been BNB. It is up 8.9%, followed pretty closely behind by Solana and I guess Ethereum and Lido with that, right? So those are the top 10. Let's look at the top 100. Where the best one is Athena again for a second day, 41.8%. And of course, Pudgy Penguins still up the second best, 39.6%. And then Flare sitting at number 3, up 26%, followed not too far behind by Kronos and Story IP, both up about 17% at number 4 and number 5. So those are the ones on the move in the last week in the top 100. Looking at the top 1,000, we got top gainers, Uranus up 200%, Mindwave DAO up 94%, and Zora up 86%. Let's have a quick look at those. We're going to try and make that quite brief today. 899 is the spot of Uranus, and look at that price there. Only been around since July the 19th. And really on a tear there from 10 cents all the way up to 40 cents in a matter of a few days. That is on a Solana chain. They do have a website, so let's have a quick look at that. Uranus coin. So that's on the mix there. You can click anywhere to start the order. Got a little spaceman, there traveling through space. There we go. Is that a planet or a weird Dyson sphere? I mean, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at? That is it on Uranus coin. So there we go. That's terrible, isn't it? Terrible. Let's go. Has been around since May the 3rd, so a couple of months, and that chart is particularly bizarre. So you might want to definitely do due diligence on that. It's on BSC chain. Let's go to the website. Have a quick look at that on our Mindwave. Okay, so it's got a new way to build a better future. Mindwave unites Bitcoin-backed yield with next-generation innovation across ad tech, insurtech, AI governance, and climate there. So there we go. They got ads, insurance, and climate, and as well as AI in the mix there. So interesting. Bitcoin-backed yield. There we go. Let's jump over to the third one. It's on the list there. Top gainers in the top 1,000. Zora up 86%. That's sitting at number 284, so it's much higher there in the top 300 at the moment. It has only been around a little while too, since April, about another month longer. It was down at about 1.2 cents, is now at 8 cents, so it's pretty good in the last couple of days, and it looks like it's been rocketing into the top 300. And I think that's on base chain there. Let's have a quick look at the website. I think they've got a website there, zora.co. Let's have a look at that and have a quick check that out. So that is the website there. Right, not sure what else that's really doing, but that's it. That's it. A couple of pictures, social media or something. Not quite sure what's going on there with the old Zora, but it's number 284 for some reason. There we go. So that is our top gainers trending. We've got Zora, Pudgy Penguins, and Ethereum trending at the moment. So that's pretty much on the market. So, 3.95 trillion, down 3.5%, but Bitcoin holding pretty strong at 118,000, and Ethereum holding pretty strong likewise, 3,738. So that is where we are at the moment. So that's going to get us into the PulseChain update. We'll talk about that next. We've got some people in the chat. So big bang, Pulse gang. We've got Frank Whitehouse, always an honor. And definitely smash the likes on that on the way in, says Hexhog. Definitely do that. When will we see some breakdancing, says Hexdana? Probably not. Probably not happening. Probably not happening that. And I'm going to miss out Hedgehog's comment. Superman has moves. Some say he would wipe the floor in a dance off with Richard Hart. That would be very easily, since I was a professional dancer, so that's not going to be a problem. But we don't have the capabilities as much as we used to. Let's put it that way. Hashtag Superman. That's how I got my name, right? That's how I got my name. Right. Perfection was my game. Perfection was my game. That's all we can say. Morning all. Good to see you, Q Bullet. Big shout out. Welcome to the chat as well. And don't forget, if you guys are watching on X, don't forget to repost at the repost. That's all it takes. We're going to be covering, obviously, Liberty Finance, Liberty Swap, I should say, news. And, of course, PulseChain. We're going to cover all the charts as well. Give me a lot of fun. They are moving to the upside is game on. And, of course, exciting times ahead. All right, let's see here. Let's jump over to, I guess we're going to get out of there and go straight to some of the news. So let's do that. Bam. All right, so Liberty Swap. Yeah, come on down, Liberty Swap. That's we got direct buy pressure, definitely. Announcement, they say, official announcement. We've completed the engineering upgrade. So there we go. We've completed the engineering upgrade to scale our direct buy pressure cannon to 5x capacity this week. So direct buy pressure cannon to 5x capacity this week. So that's pretty huge. We've got base and Ethereum, so base chain and Ethereum. PulseChain is now running seamlessly. Send your buy pressure, will handle it. Isn't that cool? BNB and Arbitrum, slightly slower, but still smooth and reliable. We'll be listing tons of new PulseChain assets starting today and continuing into next week. So if you've got a project out there, and of course, many of you have, you want to get those listed up on here. That's going to be massive for you. So pretty awesome. We're going to repost that. Bam. Very exciting. Huge news. I guess we'll put that down. Let's go. PLS on PulseChain. And I guess we got to go Liberty Swap. And yeah, we'll have to correct some spelling there, but apart from that, bam. All right. On PLS on PulseChain, go Liberty Swap. Let's go. All right. So very exciting here. We also got some stuff here. We've also upgraded our contracts to protect you from wallet-based DApp attacks. Your wallet doesn't interact directly with the apps or tokens. You send an intent, we execute and deliver directly to your wallet. Use revoke cash after each transaction to verify. You'll see nothing risky there. Always use our official website. We'll take care of everything else. Let's keep sending it safely and at scale. Pretty cool. All right, so that's kind of cool from them. Around that, let me just jump back out of there. So awesome news there. And let's just scroll down here a little bit here. We got 1 hour ago, and still when announcement when green candles. Direct buy pressure is here. Very cool. We got a 4-day countdown. As you guys know, we covered this yesterday. 5 days countdown, 4 days countdown, and here we are on 4 days now. So we're getting very close. I don't know if have you guys been sending the 555 and the 369 and the 238 polls to the OA wallet 03. Let us know in the chat there. I like this one from Hexdown. Pack your bags, sir. Pack your bags here. Big things coming to PulseChain, absolutely. All right, so kind of cool. Let's see what else they've got here over the little wee while. We've got a couple of memes in the house. Freedom. Kind of cool. Let's scroll back down here a bit further. Scroll. We've got Crypto Coffee in the house. Who else we got there? It's coming to 40. Direct buy pressure is coming in from 40 blockchains. Can you believe it? Unbelievable, isn't it? Sell pressure, only 3 exit routes: Base, BNB, and Ethereum coming. And of course, Ethereum's going to be hugely popular. We're here to pump PulseChain and turn the dream into reality. Bring more PulseChain to $1. There we go. How much time we have till pump tomorrow? There we go. That's pretty funny. So cool. Yeah, I like how they always replying to posts, and they got 24-hour sort of help desk, haven't they, as well? Kind of cool. We started, what did they say, 5 hours ago? We started small test liquidity pool of 12,000 USDC, gradually expanding to just under 70,000 USDC for the moment. Even with the modest amount, we've been fortunate to help facilitate $10 million moving in and out of PulseChain. Isn't that cool? Including a direct several million into PulseChain assets. Our focus has been on minimizing capital exposure to smart contract risk while doing our best to optimize user outcomes for users. With around 5 million USDC in liquidity, we believe we can support significant trading volumes, potentially reaching into the billions, if we continually scale and continue. If we continue scaling responsibly. There we go. So that was pretty exciting. So they're doing some cool stuff there. What else? We're going to get into some of that. Let's see what else they got comments there. So we're going to jump out of there. And Nick Hellman there. PulseChain now displays support for 3 wallet options and 3 bridge options, including Liberty Swap Fi. So they've been added to the official PulseChain website. Let's go have a quick look at that. That's pretty cool. We know that Richard was talking about getting that rehashed, and nice to see, I guess them added. I'm not sure exactly where that is down on here, but that's pretty cool. Step 1, you got the wallet there. Step 2, buy Pulse, and you got the PulseChain bridge, you got Gibbs Finance, and you got Liberty Swap there on the link there. So that's pretty cool on the main site there for PulseChain.com. That's very cool. What else there? We'll scroll down here a bit further. Let's have a look here. It was just in the last 6 hours, by the way, so not bad. We got Tam out there. Big shout out to Tam. Kind of cool. Everyone should watch the entire stream there on that. What else there? We got Hex for Life. No permission. Supports Liberty Swap from Randy Alaski. Big shout out to Randy Alaski out there. Kind of cool. Just jump down. We've got a few more comments in the chat. We've got Magnus in the house. Hey, Superman. Good to see you, Magnus. Big shout out. Liberty Swap has made easier and more accessible to bridge. Let's keep scrolling down here. We're 8 hours ago. Hex week signups are officially open. I guess that's for the conference, is it? Yeah, conference coming up on August. Let's scroll down a bit further. Got the buy pressure there still. So lots of cool updates. PulseChain on the move. All right, we'll just keep going. How far down we now? We're at 18 hours. The average direct buy. All right, so that's pretty much everything there. Let's scroll right back to the top again. So big news there. Big news there about about the big direct buy pressure there. So pretty cool. Including BNB chain. I don't see anything particularly around Binance there. So unless I'm missing something, guys, let me know in the chat. I don't see anything particularly there about Binance. Let's see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Look at the images. Oh, is that what you're telling me? Look at the images. Let me have a look. This image you're talking about on there, is it the tie or something? It's got the Binance image on there, is it? Look at the images. Richard followed me as Richard followed me as Liberty Swap. Who thinks RH is Liberty Swap? Liberty Swaps is in a Binance suit with 4 days, 4 days, 4 fingers like CZ did. I see. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. Liberty dressed as CZ. There we go. Yeah, no, I wasn't familiar with that. So very cool. All right. So yeah, I figured the tie, maybe the tie there. And we got the 4 fingers there. I guess it's the 4-day countdown. Thanks for that, Eros, I think it is. Christine in house there. Hello, Superman. Good to see you, Christine. Hope you're doing well. So there we go. All right, something big is coming, eh? Not that image. There's another image, is it? What image are you talking about? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Are you talking about one of these other images? Let's have a look. This one here. Oh, this image. All right. 4 days. All right. Okay. So I'm on the wrong image. I did cover this image, but not 4 fingers. So yeah, 4 days to go. Wearing a Binance outfit. Okay. That's very, very bullish. Yeah. Very cool. What's happened in 4 days? 3 days. 3 days. Well, we went down this on 5 days, didn't we? We have a look at this 5 days. That's cool. Oh, there we go. 4 days. I remember this picture. I do remember this picture. But yeah, I never put it together. Like I said, just logged on. So a little bit sleepy there. All right, so I got one finger. This is from that's terrible. Stealing this. I'm no sorry, no one. So it's pretty funny. All right, so yeah, that's caused a lot of stir there. Pretty exciting. Imagine such a thing on Binance, and we have warning to move from TitanX coins and LP. So this is from Eros, of course, and we have warning to move from over TitanX coins and LP. So we ride on the strength, all built on TitanX coins like DragonX and the old Eros liquidity word there. Who else is in the chat there? I think that's kind of it. All right, that makes a lot more sense, man. That makes a lot more sense. So Binance listing, hint, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's quite feasibly done. Anything's possible now that we defeated the SEC, isn't it? So very, very bullish indeed. You don't get much more bullish than a centralized listing like that. Very cool. All right, we'll keep a lookout for that. Anyway, PulseChain is pumping, but not hyper pumping yet. So we're on the move, but not hyper pumping. We're at day 806 days since PulseChain launched on 30th of May 2023. We got maybe potentially 4 days to a Binance listing. That'd be absolutely mega huge one. I mean, that's going to cause some God mode candles for sure. We got Pulse at the moment at quadruple 0364 up 5.8%. We got PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0279 up 8.8%. And the buy and burn sitting at 7.48% incentive token on a nice move there. Now $1.78 up 8% almost. And we got Hex at the moment on the move. The best performer so far, 12.9% at 86 hundredth of a penny. EHEX at 2400th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is now at 1.1 cents. So we're blowing past 1 cent there. Hex is on the move. And, you've seen a number of different commentaries on the limited supply out there. So that is crazy. But I guess, Eros, what's going on with the OA and sending 5555 tokens and 369 and 238 there? We got to look for that gold mode candle. I mean, what's happening there? So 4 more days to go, countdown. So pretty exciting. All right, so let's go to the gas prices. We've got 1.8 million beats at the moment, 2 cents for a PulseX swap. Let's go to the validators. We got 32,534 validators, so that's up about 300 actually today, I think. So that's pretty exciting. And the bridge is over 100 million today. It is, folks. Oh, congratulations, everybody. That is back over $100 million. That's a very bullish sign. Very cool indeed. Yeah. Eros says James Osborne Maria is James Maria is my guest for the Liberty Swap dev team. That's from Eros there. That's a cool association actually. All right, very cool. So looking good here. We got Wookie in the house. Good to see you, Wookie. Wookie is here, kind of. Nice to see you, Wookie. Hope you're doing well. So that is where we're at 101.7 million. Isn't that awesome? So that's exciting, guys. We're back over 100 million in good style. We've got ETH on the move, right? So that's kind of cool. We got looking solid. ETH is pretty solid. We got EHEX, though, is the big mover there. Up to almost a quarter of a penny on ETH. We got DAI moving up. That's another $500,000 increase in DAI. That's really cool. And ETH is almost over 7,000. USDC at 15.5 million. Coast at 10.6. No change there. And USDC Tether pretty similar at 5.1, and Bitcoin there pretty similar as well. But we have had moves in DAI, had moves in ETH value, and of course it looks like we probably had a little bit move there in the old ETH as well. So that is some good stuff there. With the old markets, let's get into PulseChain. We're going to have a look at the volumes, then we're going to zoom in on the cores, right? PulseX, and talk about the charts there. And of course, the charts may get blown away. We get this Binance listing. We got $20.1 million at the moment on volume. We got 300,000 transactions on the 24-hour. So we're definitely up from yesterday. Yesterday we were down like 13 million. So we're up about 7 million there. Nice. We got Curve at the moment. It's been around for 4 months, up 87%. We got RRS. So this is one of the new, from the new farm. What's it? PulseChain, I think it is. Ink reward service, one of the tokens there with Ink, and that's up 37% at the moment. Let's have a quick look at that chart. It's probably the timing is very good if we got this Binance thing. Look at that. Wow. All right. So that is on the move there. So people are earning pretty nicely in that farm with the old Ink reward service there. What else we got? We got RSI is up 32% as well. We got Your Mum is up 28%. Trump and Pump Tires is up 90%. There's Sparta on the back of Hex with the Hex Dow there, up 16%. Obviously, Hex is on the move, so it's a winner from that. Hex A, Hexagon there, that's also from the farm as well, PulseChain farm, if I remember rightly, along with IRS Inc. there. That is up 16%. And of course, we've got Hex there at number 11, is up a 13.6% on PHEX, sitting at 8,600 to the penny. We're going to look at the chart coming up later on. So along with IRS Reward and Hex A and Blitz here, this is PulseX version of Reward on that PulseChain farm. That's up 30% as well. So they're all holding up pretty well from the looks of it. So kind of cool. Let's have a quick look at those. See how that's looking. That is, yeah, look at that. Looking pretty good. I have to log that though. That is the chart there looking pretty good there. I think we might get rid of these. So that is the chart on the Hex A, and we've got Blitz as well, holding up pretty well. So if you've gotten this farm nice and early, you haven't had a sell-off, right? And seems like you got the right timing, and everything's going pretty well. Yeah, timing's everything, and having the right momentum. And instead of getting a sell-off in the farm early, you've got the farm still performing very well. So if you got in here nice and early, you'll be crushing it. And I know some people who are crushing it. So there we go. That is pretty cool. What else do we got? We got Dow token at the moment. It's up 12.8%, number 15. What else have we got going down there? Yeah, they're dominating. Look at Hex and Dow token dominating there. ALGO, of course, on the back of Hex as well, up at 12%. That's number 24. Staked ETH, the fork copy, is up 11%. We've got Cardano pump tires up 10% as well, number 26. ADA pump tires, yeah, we'll talk about that. PC the Greatest, we're going to talk about that too. I'm going to find the pulse pair. Let me pull that up because we're going to talk about that later on. We'll drag that right to the end. And yeah, so that PTC the Greatest doing very well. RhinoFi, we're going to be talking about RhinoFi a lot more moving forward. Some action happening there with all that unique reflection tokenomics, up almost 10%. We've got Honey here from, I think it's from the other ecosystem with the old, was it a theta? I'm just trying to remember my Latin symbols here. That is on the move there, part of that ecosystem. They've just reissued a whole ton of new tokens from the looks of it. That's up 9.7%. PulseX is finally in the mix as well. So we've got Hex there. PulseX coming in at number 38, up 8.3%. We'll probably see a good move there as well. UFO PTC the Greys. So PTC is way up here. But UFO is probably still relatively underpriced. We looked at that yesterday, up 8.2%. So there we go. And then we've got some other ones here. We've got no BS, as it were, is up 7.8%. It's only been around for over a year. Top Hat from Crypto Coffee is at number 44. That's up 7.6%. So that's having a nice little move there. Probably pretty much from the bottom, actually. So we've got a look at that. Not quite from the bottom, so it has had a little bit of rise there. That is the coffee one, not looking too bad actually on the chart overall, sitting at 0.2 of a penny there from Crypto Coffee. We'll keep looking for that too. Incentive token on the move there, and pretty much taking a lot of the peers between 44 and 47. Not too bad at all. And we got Solid X on the move as well. We are expecting big things from Solid X. We get all this news around the decentralized casino, the casino license, the X game, then all that those four tokens in the Solid X group will probably all start to blow up. And so we could see a lot of really cool things happen there with the old incentive token. So up 7.3%, looking very, very good indeed. And this got all supermoon, right? We get the 4-day countdown from LuliSwap, and we've got Binance listing in some form or another, particularly if it's a direct form of listing. Man, that would be mega huge, right? And it does look very, very, very exciting there. Of course, PulseChain is fully decentralized change, pretty much. So that's pretty exciting, for the most part. All right, so it depends on how you define it. But that is pretty cool. So incentive token, looking good in the top 50. So pretty much dominating, those peers. Solid X there at $10.20 is that up 6.7%. We got Unseen Signal. It's up 6% as well. And TFC, the Fitzgerald company, only been around for about 4 months. That is up 6% as well. Those are the top 50 pretty much. Now let's quickly look at some of these other ones as well as we move forward. My mouse is going over. Let's look at keep going up, down a little bit further, because we've got green days. So we got 9mm is up 5.8%. Probably get to see that re-rate a lot stronger, especially if we get a Binance listing. That'd be pretty cool. We got Hidden Vault there up 5.2% as well. Access Alive, another influencer coin. We saw Crypto Coffee's on the move, on the top hat. Well, Access Alive is up 5.8% as well. So kind of cool. What else there? We got Teddy Bear. I got to go back and watch the video and try and get that down with the old accent, New York accent. But that's up 4.8% as well. And then we got 9-inch, the other DEX, right? So we got 9mm and we got 9-inch. That's up 3.8%. We're expecting big moves there. Then at number 61, we've got X Game. That's associated with the Solid X. We're expecting those two things to really run once we get some news from that team. X Game at the moment is still underpriced at the moment based on that news. So just the market's waiting for that news. So you always buy when the market's not really looking at something. But then of course maybe you're chasing something else that's doing really, really well at the moment. Pepe at the moment, meme coin up 3.6% as well, at number 62. And then we've got UpX there, which is been pretty good performer there along Validator X and what's the other one they just launched? I forgot the liquid staking. I just forgot the name of it now, but let me know in the chat if you guys remember. That's up 3.5% as well. Ape and Pulse at number 64, up 3%. So we've got pretty good moves there. BBC, along with 9-inch on the move there, is up slightly there, 3% as well. So those are some of our big ones there moving at the moment. People we talk about communists. We haven't seen a big move there yet, as far as I can tell. People have been talking about communists some amount of time. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if this is the exact one, though. It's one Fusion. So that's pretty much it. So and then the rest of the market. So how many? We got the 6074 actually green. We've got Surf Token there sitting at 1.2 cents. Definitely undervalued after the whale sold it off from Crypto Paradise. And Liquid Loans there is slightly green as well. And the last one that's green is Pulse Puppet number 74. The rest of them are slightly out of the money. We're still seeing after the big sell-off by the whale on Sword Sun and Minimum, we haven't seen that price recovery yet. And we know that the corporate is not using all the funds that they could be using to buy that up, right? So they're holding back a lot of their cash. My guess is they're doing that because they got the Floyn listing coming up. Probably what month is it? July. Probably in August, September. So that's probably what's going there. A little bit of gaming there. Whenever you've got a big pot of gold, people have a tendency to manipulate the use of it, right? This is the way it goes. But we are waiting for some big news there around their production plant, their marketing, and their customer online buying, as well as the Floyn listing and access to institutions. So there's a lot of stuff coming in the second half of this year, but you're going to have to be patient with it. At the moment, it's a bit of a steal in terms of price pickup. What else? That's pretty much it. Teddy Bear there from James and Maria is actually down 8.6% on the bottom there, and Love.io is down there as well, 11.5% there from Anders there. So they'll have to start launching some of their apps. Time to get going on the old Love.io. Looking forward to that. Now we've got a couple of comments in the chat here as well. Let's get to that before we get into. I guess we're going to get into the rest of the. We're going to deep dive into the charts here on PulseChain. So let's get into some of those comments first. Frank White says it's not James Maria. And Frank White says, I have a good guess. Yeah, well, let me know in the chat there what your guesses are about who you think it might be running a Liberty swap. Gig Gaming TV. We've got the old beer there, a little teddy beer, teddy takeover beer, I guess, or the James Maria beer. Which one? After the game last night, Wookie is having a bath and disinfectant, says Wookie. Oh, that's crazy. What the fudge? We'll have to talk about that in Discord. You might need some counselling. You might need some counselling there. Titan X says Liberty has a beer favoritism with PDI. Also, there is a top 2 FOMO posts. They're both Maria coins, so that's the link there. That's a good piece of evidence there. Tyndall in the house says crypto's hottest news. Thank you, Super. Hey, most welcome, Tyndall. Big shout out there to Tyndall. And I do appreciate you always consistently reposting the show. It really does help a lot. So the community is what it's all about, right? Communities. What did Richard Hart say? The favorite thing he liked was the community, and it is all about the community. So it's all about you guys. So I appreciate that. And it's anything I can help along the way on our journey. We're all sharing this journey here together on PulseChain, year after year after year. So yeah, pretty awesome. Well, how long have I been streaming now around Hex and PulseChain? It's probably, what year is it? 2025. 6 years, I think, around 6 years, around that, Matt. I've had different channels, of course, as well. So there we go. What else have we got? All have crypto does not realize the legality. PulseChain now has court issued legality. This is Eros there. Absolutely. It's awesome, isn't it? Crypto Jack says smash the like and subscribe. Definitely do it on the way in. Matt in Bali says, or Matt, you're going to have to change your name, mate. Matt in Perth. It's Matt in Perth now, but Matt. Teasing. We got Pulse Wrap Bitcoin sales now on. Well, it hit $1,000 yesterday, didn't it? The old Wrap Bitcoin. And of course, we have our biggest whale, Rack and Michelle, talking about getting one Wrap Bitcoin on PulseChain. And just like we had the narrative about getting one Bitcoin on Bitcoin for years and years. Thanks for all you do, Sit Man. I appreciate that, Mac. Big shout out. And likewise, great to have you in the community as always. Big star in the community there. All right, so let's move on into let's move on. What's that? What do you say? Oh, the game. Damn, should have had one. I think the Warriors were checking their cryptos again and lost focus. Did they lose? Oh no. But the Raiders are for the win today, says Matt. Yeah. What about the Knights? The Knights win. That's pretty important. All right, let's jump away from there, and we're going to get into the majors here. So let's start off with PulseChain. Let's get into the charting here, and we're going to build it up as we go. That's all part of the fun. So I've got the weekly chart here. There's the weekly chart here on PulseChain, Pulse Gains. I guess we'll auto-log that, see what that does. It gets all the volumes there as well. We might get rid of the volumes, but let's do that for the time being. We'll get rid of the volumes on the chart. There, that's the chart. That's the bear chart for Pulse right now. We've got a bit of a W there, haven't we? A bit of a what do you call it? A skew. What do you call it? I'm just trying to think of the word. I need a coffee. I haven't had a coffee today, guys. I haven't had to get a coffee today. I have these really weak coffees. They're kind of like almost milkshake coffees, but it makes them a lot more easy to have. If you have too many like hard coffees, I do recommend you get they're called Avalanche. So the brand's called A for Avalanche. I don't know. I think they have them in Australia and in New Zealand brands, but it's called Avalanche A, and they're really, really good. So we've got Quadruple Zero 3600, Quadruple Zero 3600 at the moment. So we've definitely broken past 3000. We've broken past 3500. So game on now. Game on, really. You can see this is the weekly candles. But the last time we had a local high, so we obviously had lower highs, right? So up here, all the way here in March 24, right? Remember this week here, July 31st, that's the SEC, right? That's the SEC. And this is the SEC right there. And we, pretty much had that cloud over us, ultimately, since the 7th of July, right? So here, that is the SEC period, man. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? That's how long it lasted to ultimately get rid of them, right? To ultimately not just get rid of them, but defeat them. And that's what's happened. And that is the era there. That is the era of the SEC. I mean, it's a damn long time. It's a damn long time. And they had a terrible case to start with. It was a terrible case. The way they wrote it was written terribly. The arguments were really weak. And they could have done a way better job. Fortunately, they didn't. Fortunately, they didn't, because it was a much easier case to defeat. And we saw some of the best lawyers in America defeat it. So there we go. That was pretty crazy. All right, let's get to the chart here. So that is the chart there that I was trying to show. I didn't realize that I wasn't on the chart at the time. But that is Pulse, and that is the SEC event. That's on weekly candles. So these are weekly candles right here on the old PulseChain. And look at that. That is how long we had to endure the SEC. Just think about that. Those are weekly candles, and that is how long we had to endure the SEC. But Richard Hart got some of the best lawyers and defeated some of the worst legal case we'd ever seen. And so, yeah, pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. So now we're free. So now we're entering the era of freedom, right? So the freedom, but like Braveheart, but probably more exciting, and without the bad ending. And so now we're into the era of greenness, right? So, we're looking at some pretty cool stuff here. And so, yeah, we are looking at green worlds moving forward, right? Green, green, green. So we're entering a new age on PulseChain. Isn't that beautiful? We're moving from the dark ages to the, I guess, the Enlightenment or something. I don't know. Was the Enlightenment that Enlightenment? I don't know. You decide. But there we are. We are moving into the green age on PulseChain. Isn't that cool? And the right time, right place, right? We got Ethereum on the move. So very excited about that. Let's add in our daily charts, and let's add in some cool stuff here. Let's add in the RSI. See where the RSI is at the moment on the old PulseChain. And we can see on the daily that we're on the move. But let's go back to the weekly actually on that. Let's go back to the weekly. Look how much room we have to move here. We're just above 50 right now. So we got plenty of room for Pulse to absolutely, utterly rally super moon. So very, very excited about that. And last time we were down at these levels and we had a rally was back here in November 24. We had a really nice rally into that move and all the way up here, right? So last time we did that, we were pretty much around here, let's say, or let's say about here. And we had a really nice move. We had a bit of pullback that move, but we had a nice 50% move. But ultimately, it turned into, over 77 days, turned into 132%. But I think we're going to see much bigger things now, much bigger things happening, because probably what's going to happen is we're going to break this long-term downtrend, right? Which is going to be pretty cool. So we've got these weekly candles, and we've got this sort of downtrend here, and we break through that. That's a huge move to the upside, right? We've got a nice little, sort of lopsided asymmetric, I guess, W forming, and we break that. We've got plenty of room to break it on the weekly. It's this game on, right? It's this game on. So kind of cool. What else we got in there? I'm just trying to find some cool images. We've got some nice arrows. Let's take that arrow. That arrow's kind of cool. We kind of woohoo all the way up. Let's go. I mean, let's start sending it way up there, right? So we could have something really cool like that happening. So that's just the basics. That's like little kiddie math, but very exciting. Now we're going to go to the daily and check that out too. So we've got this long-term trend. Let's go to the daily chart. We've got plenty of room in the RSI. On the weekly, we are getting a little bit overheated on the daily. We've got a little bit more room to move, and so hopefully we can just come up and tap that 4,000 and make sort of consolidate maybe around maybe 4,000 to 4,400 or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. So we're sitting, the last local high was at 4,400. So if we can keep pushing higher here, get a bit overbought, and then just consolidate in this zone would be pretty nice. For the big move. Of course, we get Binance listing in 4 days, then it's just up and to the right. We get a hyper hot RSI and just break through that long term trend as well. It would just be pushing the TA. So that is kind of cool on the daily. Let's add in some moving averages. So we're going to add in some EMAs. I'm going to add in 2 of those, and we'll add in 4 actually. Let's add in 4. We're going to add in the 9. We're going to do the short-term ones. So we'll do that. We're going to do pink for that and double that. That's the 9-day. Let's put in a 34-day as well. So I'm going to make that dark purple. These are kind of my normal colors, right? So dark purple. We're going to make that 34. Bam. And then we're going to put in the longer-term moving averages on the daily. And we're going to do 50, day 50. And we're going to make that yellow. And we're going to double that up, bam. And then we're going to get into the last one, which is going to be a 200-day moving average. And we're going to make that orange and double that up. And we're going to make that 200 days. Bam. All right, so that is PulseChain. So there we go. We've got some. You got 2 TAs now. We got our move. Well, we got 3 actually. We got our moving. We got our RSI, tells us whether something's overbought, oversold. We got our trend lines and the EMAs. It tells you, and the EMAs, so that tells you whether we've got some bullish crosses happening in the short term and long term, because we've got the 9 and 34 day, and we've got the 50 and the 200 day. And so that gives us a bit of momentum. We've also got our third one, which is just some trend lines, which we've got our mega trend line here at the top there, and we're trying to break that, right, to change the direction of the chart, because we keep having lower highs. All right, and then of course recently we've changed that a little bit already. So back here, let's put a little picture on here. Back here on the 1st of April, it looks like the low very much may have been in on the 1st of April there. So it means, it's is a game on from here pretty much. So we're still not out of the picture there. So low, and bam. So that is our low at the moment, and we'll make that orange as well. So that is the play. And we can make that a little bit straight there. So that is the play there at the moment, and yeah, let's see where we're heading here. So we're going to get rid of the RSI briefly and pull that up and have a look. So we've got our moving averages going on here. So at the moment, we've got some interesting behavior. We've got the short term, which is the pink line going over the purple line. So that's the 9-day over the 34-day moving average. And we've already had a bullish cross there. So we've already had that bullish cross. And now we've got the 50-day, which is in yellow. That is starting to curve up as well on the back of that short-term move. So the long-term move is starting to curve back up. We've still got quite a bit of a gap between the yellow, so the 50-day, and the 200-day. The 200-day being the longest average there. It's a gap of 50600, so still a bit of a gap to close, but we're heading in the right direction. And maybe we'll get there. The RSI is definitely getting hot, but if we do get something like a big event like a Binance listing, then of some form, then that would be massive, right? That'd be massive. So we've got a bit of work to do, and we definitely want to get maybe on the RSI. Normally we might be able to get over 4,000 potentially, and get up to maybe this line. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If we get a Binance listing, could break part that. So we obviously want to break down this long-term trend. That's the mega move on this chart. And so, yeah, if we have enough room for the RSI as well, depending on the news coming up, that could be huge. So we'll keep looking out for this zone. That's pretty much it. Should we put another zone? This will be the zone that we're looking forward to. So 4,000. And we're going to go to 4,400. So that's kind of the normal zone that we'd pretty reasonably expect. If we get a Binance listing, no, I guess we have to, just forget about that and see what the chart does, right? See what the chart does there. But in any case, if we break this orange line, it's game on. And of course, if you think about it, we have entered the we're free now, the freedom zone, right? So this is pretty exciting. So just to build it up, this is the SEC dark cloud. Let's say era. We'll call it era. We'll call the era there, and we're going to put that in as a red. There's a red, and so that is the SEC dark cloud era. And now we're going to move it in, of course, into the freedom era. Let's call it that, something like that, for the lack of a better term at the moment. If you guys come up with something better, let me know. Freedom era, and that is freedom and bull market era. Let's get real positive here. Bull market era. There we go. So that is kind of the one there, and of course it's not red, it's going to be green. So there we go. That is we're moving into that. So we're in a different world now. Beautiful, right? Different world, and of course we can pull that world down, and there we go. We're in that world now. So kind of cool. And if we've left this world is gone, and we are stronger than ever. We're stronger than ever. So very, very cool. So now that we've done some nice cool drawings, we move on to the next one. But that is kind of cool on the 4 hourly, looking very good, and it will make them all disappear and move to the 4 hourly. Let's have a look at where that's going at the moment to give us an idea of what is happening with the charts. So even on the 4 hourly there, we've got a bullish cross. We've got a long-term bullish cross. So very, very strong move here. We've already had a short-term bullish cross. So both of them, the long-term bullish cross is really what we call a golden cross with the 50-200 on the 4 hourly. So the trader's view looking very bullish indeed. The RSI there, not quite overheated yet, but certainly not too far away. But yeah, I guess targeting that 4,000 could happen here. So very excited. 4 days to go. Plenty of room to move. So that is the old PulseChain. Now, as you guys know, PulseChain is the sea, is the ocean, right? That PulseChain is in, right? So PulseChain is it's paired up with DiStable. It's got if PulseChain rises, 5x, and everything else goes up 5x if the ratio is the same. If the ratio of something else goes up another 5x, then it's 5 times 5, 25x. So if you're in the right leverage play on top of PulseChain, you can get some big returns in US dollars very, very quickly. So very exciting, and maybe the Binance thing might make that happen, right? So that's kind of cool with Pulse. Let's jump over to PulseX, PulseX, and let's have a look at PulseX now. Obviously, this is the big DEX of Richard Hart, and of course, it still controls most of the volume on the chain, right? Still does most of the volume. Let's quickly go to the chart here. So I've got a little circle down here too. But we're going to come back, put that little circle back here. That's on the weekly, and we'll make that a little bit smaller. And that is our low. Pretty cool. Let's see here. Let's add in the low. Yeah, that's the local low on that one. So low. We're going to make that orange too. So that's our low there at the moment. On the weekly, though, look at this. We've had, pretty much we've been fighting a couple of weeks in here, but the last 2 weeks we've really started to move up there, break away. Very, very exciting in there as well. We've got some sort of weird looking W pattern as well. And yeah, game on. So how far we're up from there? Pretty cool. Let's look. We're up 70% almost. So basically 70% on there in three weeks. So it's not too bad. People must have a bit. You can sort of sense a bit of a better cheer around, and also obviously we're in the same thing as we had on the old Pulse chart, is that we're in the golden era now, right? We won't draw all those things, but we're in the golden era here on PulseX. Now, PulseX should be a leverage play on PulseChain, right? Should be a leverage play on PulseChain. Let's quickly look and bring in the RSIs on this too. And that is where we are. So RSI on the old PulseChain, the weekly's got plenty of room to move again. We're at 50 again, which is pretty exciting. Let's have a look at the daily. And we've got even a bit more room than we had on PulseChain, right, on the daily. So if we go to daily here on PulseChain and we bring up the RSI, we're up at 78. But on PulseX, we're actually got even more room to move, which means that PulseX got a good chance of doing an even better run. And that's at 64. So PulseX has even got more room to move, which is pretty exciting. So we're going to add in those EMAs again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure if I can actually copy those over from the other one. Let me see here. They have a copy button. They do. Well, that might be a bit easier, right? So let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can do the old copy. And let's paste that over. Bam. There we go. That's kind of cool. We've got 5 of them now. We've got 5. All right, so let's jump over there. We're going to delete that one. And we're going to change that color. Let's do that. Let's see. We've got to do this fast now, don't we? Do it fast. So that's that one. And we've got the 9. And let's go to the next one. We're going to go. You're going to go to purple, and bam, and we're going to go 34. 34, bam, and then we're going to go to the 50. Do the 50 there, and we're going to go do yellow. Right, going to do yellow. Let's do the numbers first, I guess. 50, and then we're going to go yellow, and we're going to double up the blockings there, and then finally we've got our 200, and we're going to go to orange, and we're going to go to 200 on here. So that's pretty much our averages on now. And let's have a look at this going. So we've got more room to move on the RSI. We already had on the daily, we've already had a bullish cross here with the 34 in pink here back on the 20th of July. It's on the move. We don't have quite a steep turn up here on the 50-day, but we do have a closer gap. So the gap's not as big to cover. So that's pretty exciting on there. So, and this is looking even better, the old PulseX chart relative to Pulse. So kind of cool. It's a much more, flatter chart from the resistance, but the resistance line at the top is arguably way higher, right? So compared to a Pulse, this is a much higher sort of resistance line than the one we had over here. Which it's a lot shallower, so we actually can pass on PulseChain a lot easier. But what that would mean that if we do that, then PulseX arguably could really pump really hard towards that resistance line there. that long-term resistance there. So that'd be pretty cool. Now, obviously, you guys know that PulseX is relative to Pulse. So really, we've got to look at the Pulse chart, right, as a leverage play. So let's quickly switch over to Pulse. And you guys know we've been on this mega up run, right? And we did test it recent weeks, but we managed to close over every time, close over that long-term support line. Now we actually, at the moment, we have PulseX is a 0.76 pulse for one PulseX. And I can really find that this is going to just continue on. So expecting this just to continue because Pulse has slight inflation, right? So under EIP 1559, there's slight inflation there, with the block rewards and the fee burning. But PulseX is just completely deflationary, right? So we don't have any new supply. There's no rewards coming out. It's just getting burned off more and more, and we're now currently over 1% of the total supply is burned. And if you exclude the OA accounts, then we're down at we're actually up at 7.48% of PulseX has been bought up and burned. So this should just continue to climb relative to Pulse. And the last time we saw it go over 1-to-1, we had 2 weeks of that, right, almost back here on the March 2025. So it's this year. We're expecting to see a big re-rate in there at the moment. So if you're looking after some more conservative positions relative to Pulse, then getting the Richard Hart PulseX would be the place to be. And if we do get a like Binance and a takeoff and all the values, then PulseX is going to be the chief beneficiary, right? Because PulseX is the main DEX, right? The other one that would be a big beneficiary would be Petius, right? The big DEX aggregator. That would be a big beneficiary. So let's have a quick look at PulseChain, and we'll go to the DEX values. We can see at the moment that PulseX, out of $20 million, PulseX is doing 18 million. So it's not 90%, the vast majority. We got 9mm doing 1.6 million, which is not too bad. And then we got 9-inch there, which has been doing 150,000 pretty much. So that's the lagging behind. And you can see what's most of the volume on 9-inch. It is pretty much SolidX. Now, so we're expecting SolidX to have be one of the big rallies, right? We're expecting it to be one of the Magnificent Seven, at least my Magnificent Seven. So we're looking forward to that, and that could increase the volumes a lot on the 9-inch. The catalyst, of course, for 9mm at the moment, most of the volume there is coming from the Richard Hart cores, and that is PulseX and Hex. And incentive tokens. So that's still benefiting from most of the volume on 9mm. So maybe 9-inch could do a bit more work around that. We'll see. But then obviously PulseX is the main one there. So we would expect to see these all re-rate, particularly in PulseX and 9mm, right? So that is pretty cool on there. And so we're expecting this ratio to get more valuable, right? PulseX with the volumes gets more valuable, and with the burning should be very strong as well. So all the catalysts there. Now, of course, we've got the Master Chef contract, right? So if that gets democratized and handed to people that are holding INC token, for example, on the DAO, and then we get single-sided staking or any other third party that supports that, that's going to be pretty huge. We do know we've got many applications coming onto PulseChain that are going to be using Pulse and PulseX. Of course, we've got BetterBank coming up very soon for PDI. So you're going to be able to use PDI, Pulse, and PulseX for that. And arguably Hex as well, I believe, although I haven't seen that formally, but that is pretty bullish for those. And of course, we've got many other applications that will be using, Pulse and PulseX, etc. Obviously, everything has to use Pulse to operate, but PulseX as well, we get to see a lot more love there. All right, so that's kind of cool. Looking at that's on the weekly there, so not bad. So yeah, a bit more room to move on the US on the US side, and definitely relative to Pulse and the uptrend to continue. So PulseX would be great positioning there for extra value. That's going to bring us into INC incentive token. Of course, we know that Richard Hart cut the inflation 20x. We're down to like 2,600 ink to a day, or 0.03 ink per second. And so this has been changed as well. We saw the liquidity thin out of all the PulseX pools earlier in the year. And so now we can move down and move up very easily as well. So that's been a big deal there. Let's quickly look at the INC chart. It's been moving pretty much sideways here. We know that whales like Rack and Rochelle, of course, are holding all these and have been recent purchases on that. But that's the day. Let's go to the weekly chart here. That's a very different looking chart than the other ones, right? So we have that is the incentive token there. We do have a big downtrend there. We're going to ignore the first weeks. We're going to just take from here. We got this sort of downtrend there, and we're way below that at the moment, right? So, but we're off the bottom. We're off the bottom, which is kind of cool. So there's our local bottom here, right here, and obviously we've got our mega bottoms as it were, down here. So that is during the SEC era, of course, but we're starting to move out of that now in the last couple of weeks. So that was our low here, and we're starting to move up here. So and Signum token probably got a lot of room to move in terms of the upside. $1.76 right now, and we did see some crazy re-rate back here in May. Remember that? That was really, really fun. So that was pretty cool, and we pretty much went up quite a bit there. We were down at about $1.08, remember, and then suddenly rallied. Tell you what, $1.13 or $2.13. So it was up about 2x inside, pretty much a week or something. So that was pretty awesome. And of course that got sold off, and we've pretty much been, just consolidating in here really, between say $1.34 and $1.76, which is where we are right now. But getting very bullish indeed. So yeah, getting up to here would be about $2.90 to get up to the long-term resistance line there. So that would be pretty cool. So let's quickly add in some moving averages as well. Let's see, copy that, and bam, and I'm going to add a couple more. Actually, let's take that back. Actually, let's let's see if we can add them in separately. Maybe that might be a bit faster. And bam. Yeah, okay, I'll probably do the same thing there. And bam. Oh, what happened there? I've got the wrong copy paste. Let's copy that over. And we're going to add the next one. And we're going to add the next one. All right. Oh, what happened there? Oh, we haven't got enough time for 200 for the weekly, but this is the weekly candles at the moment, so we can see actually the short term is actually starting to come up to the 34 weekly moving average, which is pretty cool. So that's exciting to see. Let's add in an RSI as well. Before we do that, though, we've got a couple of people in the chat there. Let's have a look here. So we've got Pepe in the chat there as well. All right, so yeah, we've got Signum token there just looking like it's getting ready to really rumble, isn't it? But we're going to have a look at the RSI and see if it's got even more room than PulseChain. Should have a lot more room than PulseChain given the way the weekly chart is. So we're going to check that out in a second. And then we're going to get into Hex, right? So Hex is on the move as well, and we're going to talk about PTGC as well. So and then a Taurus. So I've got to keep track of the time here, but we're going to jump through this. I'm just waiting for my mouse to recharge. My mouse has gone flat. Talk about the weather. While we wait for the mouse to. I need to get my mouse recharged properly. So there we go. I've been using it so much, so I keep having a little time to actually do it. What else there? We got. Let's see here. We got Clintron's in the house there. G'day crew as well. And we got Wookie as well in the house there. Good to see you, Wookie. Big shout out there. I don't know what your message was, but there you are. All right, let's jump into it. So that is, we were at $1.76. Let's go to the daily. And yeah, we've got some nice moves happening here. Man, it's very flat, isn't it? Very consolidated. So this is looking really good, but we've actually got a bullish cross with the short term. So the 9 over 34. So that's just playing out as we speak. We've got the 50-day coming up towards the turn of day, but still quite a way to go there. And that is, 20 cents difference at the moment between the orange line and the yellow line, which is the 50 and the 200. The 200-day being at the top here. But yeah, look, if we cross up there and the price is above it, that's a very, very bullish sign. So we'll keep a lookout for that. That's nice. Looking at the RSI. We've got tons of room to move, so even more than PulseChain. So Signum token, expecting this to do some big move, guys. This sort of expecting to do some big moves. So very, very cool there. That is pretty much it. Let's look at the 4 hourly quickly. So yeah, 4 hourly, they're all moving up there. We've got pretty much a golden cross on the 4 hourly, bullish cross as well. So nice, and we've still got a little bit more room extra in the INC token there. So Signum token looking very good. That brings us to Hex. We've already got some chart stuff on Hex, so that's useful. We're here on the weekly. What's this one here that I put on EHEX? I put on the EHEX chart and the PHEX chart here. This is both charts together. And the reason why I did that, not because of correlation, but to see without having correlation on there, just to see them moving together. And you can actually see they're moving pretty well together, right? Pretty well together. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're at 2300th, almost 2400th of a penny on the EHEX. But on the old, I'm going to hide that EHEX just because it's so long over the chart there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Look, I even hide it and it still shows the details to it. It's crazy. Yeah, we're looking forward to that going up there. I might actually have to delete it, which is a shame because put it on there, but that is pretty crazy. So we have got EHEX moving, as you saw, pretty similar patterns to PHEX. And here we've got the RSI down at 50 on the weekly, pretty similar to all the other charts. So we've got plenty of room to move on all the Richard cores, and we're coming into the era of freedom. And now we've got these, we've already broken this lower range, right? So that's pretty cool. Let me just change back to the older chart formation so you guys, I don't change it too much there, but we've already beaten that, right? So we're already beaten the lower angle and we're coming up to the long-term angle here. Isn't that crazy? So we're about to really have some fun here with HEX. HEX is really about to go good. We've got plenty of room on the weekly there. The daily, we are a bit overheated, so we've got a little bit of chill there on the daily. So yeah, we'll just have to wait for that. Let me, I want to go down here. Let me switch that over. It's got some weird thing on the chart right now, but we are, getting into the overbought territory on the daily. Probably have to cool off a little bit there. We do have some moving averages though already. So we're going to add on the 9 and the 34. We already see we've had this bullish cross on the 9. So, and it's played out very, very nicely indeed. We're up very, very cool. So looking at PHEX here just on the daily. Let me pull that up here. We're up pretty nicely and we're up 91% inside 2 weeks. So pretty cool move, just the early day moves, I would say. Looking forward to some pretty cool stuff there. And you can see I've got this this green bullish move up here. So let's keep looking out for that. And let's add in the other moving averages, shall we? Let's add in the 50 and the 200. We are moving up. So since we've had this short-term cross, the 50 is going to start tracking up. And at the moment, we have the 50. 50 is, let's see how close that is. It is, well, the 200 moving average is at 8300 of a penny. The 50 days at 6300 of a penny. And we're at the top end of that right now, above the 200 day. So we're going to, if we keep continuing that on just a little bit longer, maybe have an overheated RSI, and maybe the Binance thing breaks everything. It'd be pretty cool. We got Brendan in the house there, our TA guru. Good to see you, Brendan. Good timing. Hex has broken a resistance line of 8,500 of penny last. At least hope to stay above it, says Brendan. Yeah, absolutely. So we're just above that now. That is the key resistance line there. Nice. So that is the 200 day, and we've crossed over that. Nice work there. So yeah, and we get across this angular resistance line to this long-term downtrend. It's game on, right? It's game on from there. But we probably have to cool off a little bit. Just on the 4 hour, let's have a look. Or we can stay elevated for a few days. That's for sure. We can still definitely do that. The 4 hourly there, we're on bullish crisis on all the time frames, and we've got RSI's hot there as well. So we probably need a little bit of cooling around here. But look, we could stay elevated for a few days, 2-3 days. Quite recently, and then of course we get into that 4th day and we've got to Binance this thing. Well, it's going to do some pretty crazy stuff to the whole chart, the RSI there, and just like we had back here in September 24, we could just stay completely elevated, right? So if we have a look at that on the charts, it's not even coming down at me. We were up at 85, so we were up at 85 here. Look at that on the RSI. So we could quite easily do something like that and stay elevated for a couple of days. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, and we've got the right conditions for that, so it's definitely doable right now. So that is the old PHEX, and we see that EHEX was tracking pretty closely to that to do. We just showed you that on the previous chart. Moving to EHEX as well. Let's jump over to that. So EHEX on the move. So EHEX there, 23. So we're starting to move up also on EHEX. Do I have the channel? I don't think I have any of those charts. So let's try to let's do something a little different here. Move to new pane, new to existing pane window, new to pane window, pane above, pane below. Oh, I see, panes. All right. So yeah, we got that in house. Bam, bam, and let's pick up the other one too. And to pick up the long-term averages first, we'll talk about those first, I think. We'll talk about the long-term averages first. And bam, there we are. So at the moment, we've got the long-term averages on the weekly. Where RSI is super chill too, around just over 51, slightly higher than PHEX. EHEX is at 51. But, we've got the 200, the 50-day up here at 3100th penny. So we've got, man, EHEX could really explode, couldn't it? I mean, it really is well underpriced relative to some of the other ones we'll be looking at over here on the old PHEX. So EHEX, and even looking across the board on the dailies, let's look at the dailies. So we're comparing apples with apples. The prices are well above all of these moving averages here on those. So, but EHEX is underpriced. What do you think of that, Brendan? Let me know in the chat there what you think of that. That is mega bullish from the old EHEX on Ethereum. Now it's on Ethereum, right? So it doesn't get the premium that you get on the PulseChain, but it is the Genesis, the original. And we'll keep a lookout for that. Has got what's that old HexFlex? Is it HexFlex going to be built on top of it? That's also potentially bullish for it also. So EHEX is really undervalued there on the long-term averages. Let's add in the short-term averages as well. Let's add in those too. And bam. And we're going to add in the HEX ones also. The 34-day? So we're going to add that too. And bam. All right. So that's on the weekly. So we're coming up for a weekly cross here. So we could see some really big moves here on EHEX. And we might see a convergence, which means that, the EHEX price starts to converge closer, closing that gap to PHEX. This is looking very good. Look at that. Keep an eye out on those moving averages. That's pretty crazy. And the RSI's got plenty of room to move on the weekly. Let's have a look at the daily. Daily is slightly less than EHEX. I think EHEX was a little bit higher there on the daily look. So that's up at 75 in the overbought territory. EHEX is just under it at the moment, so it's probably got a little bit more room to move. On the daily, we have got a bullish cross here with the short term. So that's that pink line over the purple line, the 9-day over the 34. So we've got a bullish cross, and we have got the 50-day starting to move up. And we've also got the EHEX price above the 200-day, also bullish sign. So we've got a gap at the moment between the 50-day, the long term of, it's what do you call it? 2200th of a penny and 1900th of a penny. So, we've got I guess, that 300th of a penny, something like that. And so, that is, that gap should close out. That gap should close out and move up there. But man, the weeklies are looking really bullish for this. So EHEX may see some big moves on the old EHEX coming up there relative to the others, actually. And then we got the 4-hourly there. Obviously bullish cross on all time frames and riding the top of that 9-day. Look at that, riding the top of that 9-day. We're up at 224, and the RSI a little bit just entering the overbought territory, but still plenty of room to move there, I think. So EHEX there looking good for a big move. Brendan says well underpriced. Yeah, well underpriced there. Wookie pick up the bottom of Hex. More genius, says from Wookie. Yeah, there we go. Hey, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget, if you're on YouTube, we're streaming on 3 YouTube channels. So we're on Kryptonite Show, we're on Superman Crypto, and we're on PulseChain X. Don't forget to smash the subscribe buttons on all those channels. Hit the likes. If you're on X at the moment, don't forget to hit the follow on X. We're heading towards 1,000 followers there. And don't forget to repost the show. That is really cool. And tell your friends about it. So there we go. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So yeah, man, this is looking really good. So, and Hex is looking fantastic. Incentive token also looks like it's about to really go. And we keep a tab on those RSIs. PulseX has also got plenty of room to track up versus Pulse, and we are now in the freedom and bull market era. We've moved away from the SEC dark cloud. It's game on. So really on those early days too. We're just at the beginning of these stepping stones to glory, the stepping stones to glory. But if we get a Binance thing, that all brings forward time. Time gets pulled forward, bringing months and months and months into the future, from the future into today. And we got something like a Binance listing, right? That'd be crazy. However, that might be structured. So we'll see how that goes. That would bring all that, and so the future could be much closer than we think. So kind of cool on the old Hex. Then we're going to talk quickly about PTC the Grays, because this is our first DAO token, and of course considered one of the the blue chips in inverted commas there on the chain, and it's had a huge mega rally. Right, it's got big influences behind it, all the way from Prairie Banana through to Moon King and Ian Heinisch and many others, and so it's got a lot of influence support in the community. particularly large. It's also obviously the first DAO. It's got great tokenomics with the 5% taxes, and it's got great staking and locking, tokenomics in there as well. And then you can see the chart there really starting to look like a giant there. So very, very exciting. And lots of capital in the DAO, and of course, as everything moves up on PulseChain, all just gets more wealthier and gets more valuable, and the TVL as well. So this is looking pretty exciting. We are very hot on the daily. So let's go back to the weekly here on the old PTGC, and outside the Richard Hart cause, this would be considered one of the blue chips, and it is pretty cool. It's in my Magnificent 7 as well, if I remember rightly. So there it is on the move. So we had a couple of lower highs as well. So we had this local low of 0001766, and we had a slightly higher low there at 2300, 2300, and now we're at 0007400 here, and we're really busting. But the weekly's got more room to move. We're at 65 on the weekly, so we can definitely move higher. That being said, the daily is in the overbought territory, so we probably do need a bit of a cooling off there. We've probably got natural sort of resistance around 8200 by my count. So yeah, anywhere between 8000 and 8200. Kind of got a resting period there on the RSI, so we may see it run out of steam around there. So yeah, could potentially move a bit faster. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly. 4 hourly is a little bit hot, but could move just a little bit more. Maybe face at resistance, just a little bit higher than where we are actually. Probably, let's have a look here. If we get news around Binance, though, game's off, right? Game's off on all that. Just pop over pretty dramatically. Probably have a big retrace though. Just take note of that. So yeah, I guess we've got some kind of capping here at 7,800. It's probably where we'll probably lie. But yeah, definitely a challenge to 8,000 at the moment on this chart on PTC there on the daily. Let's add in. So we add in how are we doing for time? Let me just make sure I've got enough time. An hour and 16 minutes. So we're pretty much over time there. But you can add the moving averages just like we did before, and that would be pretty cool. So you can just go do that. Should we quickly do it? I don't know. I just feel a bit naughty about not doing it. Let's add in the long-term ones quickly. Bam, and we're going to add the 50. Bam, and we're going to add the other one too. I'm going to copy that over and add those two. Bam. All right. So that is, look at that. We just got on the moving average on the long term. We just had a golden cross. Look at that. Back on the 24th there. And crazy. Look how long it was though before we already had a rally on, but we already had the long term there. It's gone super bullish. So yeah, and we've got plenty of room in the weekly, right? We talked about that. We've still got plenty of room. It's certainly more valued than the PulseChain cores. They're all down at around 50, right? So definitely people have been entering into PTC here on this run, which is pretty cool. Let's go to the daily quickly, and we'll add in the short-term moving averages. Let's do that. And bam. And so cool. Let's go into the 34 and add that too. And we're going to add that in as well. Bam. All right. So kind of cool there. We already had way back here near the beginning of the move. We already had a confirmation here back in 9th of July. We'd already been running for about a week, just slowly creeping up. And since that time, this cross has been very reliable. And of course, look at that, riding all the way up the 9 EMA. Look at that, huge. And so pretty powerful move there. And of course, the RSI was very friendly. When we had this cross, RSI was actually a little bit, or just under here actually. Where was it here? Let me get there. It was about 60 there. And so we had a big move, just oversold, came back to 57 on the RSI, and then we're rallied. Now we're all the way up at 82. So yeah, probably should reasonably have a bit of a cooling off, maybe just ahead of where it is right now. And then maybe tackle that have a little breather, tackle the 8,000 as well. But hey, look, the RSI on the 4 hourly has been riding pretty high. So the 8,200 could be in play. But I think you're probably closer to that 7,800 mark to have a bit of a breather. We shall see where it lands, but that would be where I would take the chart. All right, we're going to quickly, got a couple minutes left, I guess. We're actually going over time, but that's the way it goes. We're going to be talking about the Titan X quickly. So at the moment, we've got Titan X not really doing too much. It pretty much had the sell-off. And so we're looking out for this, right? Because picking the bottom is always important, right? Picking the bottom of the market here as well. And we are seeing a lot of Titan X PulseChain crossover projects. We've got Janus Tower coming. We've got Unity coming. So we're getting a lot of crossover from the Tightnex community into PulseChain. So there's a lot of love. There's already obviously a lot of crossover influencers, and of course a lot of crossover investors and players in that market as well. So very close association there. And of course, we can see they got well oversold here on the US dollar. And look, that's on the ETH, sorry. That's on the ETH. So we came all the way back from that rally, all the way back. Isn't it brutal there? So Tightnex has been brutal to the downside, but it can also be glorious to the upside, right? It can be glorious in the upside. And of course, we've got a nice little entry here. Now, obviously, at the moment, there's better. You're making more money on PulseChain at the moment, but keep an eye out on this. You're picking up some bags down at the cheap price. Could be pretty cool because remember it is collaterally backed, and theoretically at a $15,000 Ethereum, there'd be $100 million of buy and burn value sitting in the backing behind Tightnex. So if you look at that, if it hasn't been used, of course, at that time, leading into that time, so pretty mega. But the big story, the big talk of the town, of course, is that Taurus is around, and Taurus is being launched, and of course that is going to have the same Taurus on Tightnex on Ethereum. We're going to have Taurus. Which is going to be called Unity on PulseChain. And there's also another protocol in the roadmap of course Unity Farms, which will be a bit like Tink Farms, but on PulseChain and of course on Ethereum, presumably. So there's quite a lot of stuff coming from cryptographics. So very, very exciting. So let's quickly look at the chart briefly. The chart really rallied pretty big last night, went to $10 something. Went to $10.50. Look at that before it had a retrace, and now it's back on the move again. So it came back to $9.50. Now it's back at $9.76. Crazy, right? Crazy. We're on day 17 now too. Pretty exciting. So that is Taurus. Let's have a quick look at the protocol, and we're going to check out some of the key metrics there. I'm going to close down some of these other charts on the Richard Hart cores, and hopefully we've got enough battery power to continue. But yeah, let's enter the DApp. And where we're going here. So DApp, look at that reward for the trading at the moment, 17,300%. Crazy good. Staking at the moment, 3,400%. And here we are on day 17, 7 hours into day 17. And of course, we just had day 16 close, right? The buy and burn looking pretty good too. Look at that, over $300,000. As Tightnex goes up, as ETH goes up in value, this is going to go up in value relative to the amount used at in point in time. And of course, if Tightnex reverses that ratio, now it's come down to your all-time low again. If that reverses that and goes up relative to ETH, then this is going to boom. You're going to suddenly go from 300K into $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. It's all turned around pretty fast. So the buy and burns also got captured 65,000 at ETH and 147,000 at Tightnex. So this all adds together. You got to add these together. That builds up the liquidity, and that gives a lot more price cushion to the market. And then we've got the fractal, which is going to be triggered on day 110. This has got $42,000 at ETH at the moment and $100,000 at Tightnex. And of course, if those Ethereum continues to rally to 15K towards the end of the year, and Tightnex then has a ratio leverage on Ethereum, and we get a bit of the buy and burn perhaps activated, this will all go up massively in value. And so all that fractal money is going to go into the buy and burn. So it'll be transferred here, and then that basically boosts that up. But at the moment, this is still collecting money every single day that people enter. It's still catching more and more of that money. And yeah, look at that. With the price has just gone to $9.84 now, so it's almost back to $10. Pretty cool. Now, the reward pool every day is $971,000. Now, obviously, this is based on a decreasing Taurus amount. Now, the maximum possible supply for Taurus would be 127 million tokens well into the future, because the payout's going down every day, and it gets added to that amount. But of course, you're buying and burning it, so you're destroying it as well on the way. So that's kind of the maximum there. But look at the liquid supply. Continuing to fall, it was 12.5% the other day. It's now 11.2, 2,200 tokens. There's not much supply at the moment, so that's the most important thing to remember. We've got a very low base of supply, and so a very robust place. Yeah, we're just about to go below 18,000 tokens. Almost 2,000 tokens have been burned, and we'll probably go under that tomorrow. We've got a few little tokens coming out, and then we've got Taurus stake. Taurus stake there is at 6,300. Total shares is the main thing we're watching, because basically the rewards are allocated to people based on the shares. Every new person comes in, dilutes the pool of shares, where you're adding more shares, right? So the actual amount of tokens that you're getting gets shared around more and more. So you get a far better distribution of tokens. So this is where some of the secret sources. There's lots of secret source to this. And if we get some big bullish move in the future, where Titanx is sucking in a lot of staking. If staking really is successful in here, as opposed to being a short-term play, because really all the tokenomics is designed for staking and high yields. If we get that, then it could suck in a lot of Titanx, and if it does that, it's well over 2.8 trillion right now inside 16 days. If it continues to do that and buy and burn Titanx as well, then there may not be enough Titanx. That's one of the scenarios there. If this is as successful as people hope, they could suck all that Titanx its existence out of the market. So it could be really a game changer here, and it's got plenty of time to do that, right? Especially if it starts to pick up and get FOMO. We can already see at the moment 157 billion Titanx has been burned through this protocol, so it's pretty cool. Let's jump over to the Taurus and have a look at the latest and greatest on the data here before we finish up. I'm going way over time, but hey, another 5 minutes will be all right. $823,000 in US. Now, obviously, if ETH and Titanx go up in value, that's going to go up in value. And we've got 71 ETH so far. We've got well over 2.8 trillion. It's probably getting closer to 2.9, actually. Let's go quickly look at Titanx and have a look at that listing there. And we can see down the bottom here, there is currently 68.3 trillion liquid. Now, it's been going up. I think it's probably from the BOT protocols going into the liquid. I'm not aware of too much staking, but we'd have to check the staking there that's coming out. But that probably is coming from the BOT or some of I don't think much is coming out of staking. So probably coming from the BOT there. Looking at Taurus, we're at 2.86 trillion. So we're almost at 2.9 trillion, heading towards there. Keep a lookout for that. That's just continuing to rise. And if we do get a bit of a runaway, this could really change things for Titanx. Taurus would be the ultimate protocol there. We're up 2.3 million in future supply. Remember, we've only got 18,000 in the market right now, 2,200 in the liquid. So we're going to have a different world in maybe 50 days, 60, 70 days. It's going to be a very different supply. Take note of that. It's very important. But in terms of future supply, it is getting allocated to more and more people. So it's very exciting. Here we are. We're just gone below 2.2 million on new token creation, which is pretty cool for that. And we've got a little bit of staked, unstaked. But these towers are going to get flatter and flatter and flatter the more people we come in. So we do get a runaway too with people coming in. These will get real flat real fast. So we're expecting this top tower to be under 1 million in no time at all. Start off at about 4.7 million. It's now at 2.2. So that's continuing to go there as well. And you can see as new token supply comes out. So when people come in after you, they're getting these tokens later, right? Because they're doing 88 days. They come in later. So they're coming in days after. So this first day, this day 89 is the first day. These are the people that did creation's first day. But if you're coming in on day 16, then you're not getting your tokens out until all the way out here at day 105, right? But what you're doing is you're getting a share of all these tokens ahead of you, right? You're taking everyone else's share of those tokens down. That's very, very genius idea. And so you're going to have a much better, more even distribution. Almost the opposite of what we had for Titanx in terms of everyone that came in sort of added to the supply. Well, here there's kind of a supply that you're getting added to on slowly. But if you're out doing that with new people coming in, then actually the distribution is getting better and better and better over time. Very, very clever there. So that's coming out at the moment. So day 106, and very exciting where that's heading. Now the first kind of inflation that we have is like day 47. That's like 14,000. We do have a couple of days before that with several thousand. I mean, arguably day 45 might be a little bit of test. We only got 18,000 tokens, 4,100. We're going to see how that plays, what people do, and of course, will they go staking with that, or what will they do? We'll see. And so so we've got day 61 with 22,000. That's definitely a testing day. So any of these days that we're almost doubling supply, then that would be pretty testing there. So I think we've got the accumulated here, don't we? So let's see. We're doubling our supply would be day 43. So that would, if we've got 18,000 now, we're going to have another 18,000 accumulate by then. So around about day 43, 45, we could see a doubling. That's a different world when you've got double supply. So we can see how that plays. We've obviously got buying and burning, got people buying and staking, people speculating. So there's a lot of buy sides, but that's the supply side. And then certainly, I think by the time we start getting into into the 6 days, in the 60s, we definitely got a big supply change there, like a 5x supply chains, 10x supply chains there. So pretty big deal. Now, the thing we've been looking at too is adoption, right? So we've got 1,183 creations as kind of like the mining part. And then we've got 131 stakers. We've been watching this because we've been saying, are we going to get a runaway in adoption, right? So we're going to get all these people coming in after people changing the whole game. The more people that come in, the more self-fulfilling the whole protocol is. So it's kind of cool, but it works either way, kind of in some degree anyway. But yeah, we had 46 on day 15. We end up 26, so I thought we might get a bit of a pickup there. Haven't seen it yet, so we'll keep a lookout for that. Still early days in this protocol, week 3. Miners, we haven't really had a big boom in miners. We did have 2 on day 16. That's kind of the play there at the moment. So yeah, and that burn percentage on a low base continues to rise. There's hardly any liquid holders, right? So there's hardly any in liquid supply. You can see a couple of holders here holding a couple hundred. So yeah, at the moment, that's kind of the play. So we'll keep a lookout for that. That is Taurus. And of course, we've got the same thing coming to PulseChain, Unity, right? We've got Unity coming to PulseChain. So let's quickly bring that up. I think I got the link. Oh, no, I haven't got the link here. I thought I did. But we've got Unity coming to PulseChain. That's going to be the same, basically, kind of protocol like Taurus. And that's going to be fun to see that play out, isn't it? It's going to be fun. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. An hour and a half, man. We went crazy today. We definitely, looked at some cool stuff happening. And yeah, we're going to get this Binance. Is there a Binance listing coming in 4 days? Oh my goodness! I mean, that's just mega huge. Imagine the amount of capital that will flow over the PulseChain. Imagine it. Imagine the amount of capital, and of course on Binance is all the capital on Binance, right? Man, I mean, we could see some sick things, right? We could see some sick things if that does eventuate. Could be absolutely crazy, right? Absolutely crazy on that. All right, now my mouse died. My mouse died again. I thought I was going to get away with it, but my mouse, I got to recharge my mouse. I cannot end the show until I recharge my mouse. But yeah, get in the chat there. We got a couple other comments. I'm gonna have to put my mouse on charge for a few hours, maybe like all day to get it recharged. Yeah, but look at those price pools for Taurus at the moment, man. 972,000. Now, obviously, the more people that come in, the more self-fulfilling these sort of values that become. So we will be looking for a potential runaway there on Taurus, and of course, if it is continues to pull in all that capital, it's going to be pretty neat. Now, the ratio at the moment is like 44 million, 40 million tight next to one Taurus. The switch over from creation being high ROI than staking is just above 10 million. So if we did come back down to that would flip the ratios to make more people want to stake. So that pulls supply off the market. So in the future, that's something we're going to be looking forward to. And we'll get the challenge. Like I say, we'll get the challenges early on, I think, leading into the 40 day mark, 45 day, 43 to 45 day. And then the 60-day marks. We have a little bit of reprieve, I think, in the 50 days area. And yeah, we're going to keep watching out for that. But regardless, the mechanism is still going to play out, right? And based on people's decisions. And so, yeah, we're going to see that. Then, of course, post day 88, I don't know. I think we're going to probably have a run-up in the chart. I just think we're going to have the timing of the market at the moment, sentiment and everything else. When it comes out, I think people are going to be surprised. And then if Titan starts to run, it's just game on, right? It's just absolute game on. So exciting things happening there. And of course, it's going to launch on PulseChain on Unity. And it's going to be sooner than later because he was talking about, it might be a bit later, but now he's talking about sooner. So there's cryptographics, of course. So we might see Unity come very, very soon. And then Unity Farms, right? Holy heck. I don't know how far developed that is. Of course, Brandon from Rag, his company has been working on that. He's another, obviously, influencer and developer leader there. And that could be coming too. So having Tink Farms on PulseChain, Tink Farms on or Unity Farms on the old Ethereum ecosystem along with Tink. I may imagine maybe they'll just use the Tink Farms. I don't know, but they've definitely got Unity Farms there. Maybe it's just for PulseChain. The same idea, having Tink Farms there. Of course, Tink Farms there is from Eric from DragonX. So we'll see. Maybe they're going to set up their own alternative there. Could be pretty exciting. And then, of course, we also saw Trade Brawls there from Ali Kane adding. There's a competition there at the moment for Taurus. I think there's about $2,000 plus of prizes there to win on Taurus, and so that's going to be the first use case, I guess, outside of Taurus for Taurus. So yeah, it's pretty exciting times leading in the next couple of weeks and months ahead. We've got a lot of fun here. All right, let's end the show. We've got a couple more comments, and the mouse has just got enough charge just to end the show as well. Yeah, boy. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Yeah, PulseChain, Moon, Binance, come on, let's go. Liberty Swap, let's go. Let's have a good time on the old PulseChain, and I'll catch you guys later on. Don't forget, if you want to join Strategy Club, links in the video description, only $35 a month. Join up today. And if you just want to become a member of the Discord, $12.50 a month. Pretty good value there in our Discord. Join up today. And of course, we've got Telegram as well, which is free to join. So join up for that also. You're going to see a lot from us. We've got the Monster Thread coming out tomorrow, guys. The Monster Thread. Woohoo! Week number 12, 3 months of the Monster Thread, the hottest news on PulseChain. Big shout out to MVS Crypto there, our promotional lead and editor-in-chief, working hard on that as well. So bring it on, bring it on. Frank White says buying out this thing would be crazy, LFG. That is the way to finish the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to play out the good old bull market rally because we are on the beginning of the banana. Everything is lined up, folks. The stars are aligned. Bring it on, bring it on. That's all we can say.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.